VTuber culture. What are the first things that come to mind when I put those two words together? Perhaps weebs, degenerates, parasocial white knight simps that defend their precious little ocean to their dying breath. Well, that's what we're going to be delving into today. Not only the culture encompassing the fans, but also the content creators themselves leading the charge. This is going to be a fun one. This does not represent the entire VTuber community, and most of them are actually perfectly fine, yada yada yada. If an unemployed, fresh out of high school teenager has to tell your chronically online ass in the Big 25 to not get offended for calling out your questionable behavior, yeah, find God. So sit back, relax, grab some snacks. Get yourself a green apple Nutri-Grain bar, some rolled gold pretzels, and a pouch of Pacific Cooler Cupper Sun to wash all that down. And with that being said, first chapter.
None of your content creators, your favorite ones, including me, are your
elephant green screen effect.
Now, parasocial relationships are absolutely nothing new in the modern internet landscape and are often condemned in the content creation space. But I swear to God, this space does the complete opposite and lets it fester and bloom internally like a Hanahaki fanfic. Like, tell me why every single time a female VTuber gets exposed for having a boyfriend, their numbers completely fall off the face of the universe. Now, you may say, Jay, it's career suicide for any female content creator getting exposed for having a boyfriend.
Shut your
And while I won't deny that, the pattern that I notice in the VTuber space specifically is that the damage is far more severe. Because it's not just a normal woman being exposed for having a boyfriend, it's the real world, like, no shit. People aren't going to be as immersed into the delusion compared to some demon anime chick that's a 5,000-year-old succubus playing, like, Repo or Peak with other miscellaneous anime chicks. It's the fantasy that the creators put up for their desperate and lonely, predominantly male audience that's obliterated. Because when they find out that their favorite little Oshi that they have maladapted daydreams over every single time they go to sleep at night has a partner that's not them, that fantasy is shattered. And they move on to another VTuber that plays the same act before the prior one got exposed and forms another parasocial bond with them. Rinse and repeat. I'm at a point now where if you're watching not just a VTuber, but any content creator for the sole purpose of thinking you might have a chance of dating them because they're attractive and single, there are a few things that I'm gonna need to ask of you, alright? Stop consuming this shit. Get a good look at yourself in the mirror, rethink your entire life, go outside, work out, and stop putting off studying for your pre-algebra test tomorrow. You're 5 losses deep and competitive and you're out of school in 5 hours. Go the fuck to sleep. And speaking of school,
my boobie oozed. It's filling everywhere.
The amount of VTubers that look, sound, and behave like children that act extremely lewd is definitely another cause for concern. Like, why is this something no one talks about? And before I even say anything else, certain people will immediately get defensive and say asking why many of these YouTubers acting like this is a completely vain point to make. To them, it's like saying, why does pornography exist at all? Why is the sky blue? Why is Frogan eating her 15th Big Mac in a row in the past 12 hours? But then I'd also be asking, are you trying to get a cupcake too? Like, what's going on here? Because the reason why it's special here is that it's essentially just women cosplaying as children, creating borderline COD points out in the open for everyone to see and possibly roleplay with. And those same people will come into my comment section and claim, well, actually, so-and-so VTuber is actually 9,000 years old, so it's perfectly legal. And to that I say, why are you defending this? If you want to white knight this type of behavior, then I feel like it's only fair if you reveal what's in that strange-smelling double-digit hard drive you got. Yeah, that's what I thought, little bro. Shut your pedo ass up. I'm convinced that at least 65% of these motherfuckers that watch these specific VTubers gotta be investigated. Like, what are these freaks hiding? Don't forget their search history, too. Incognito mode is not safe. Also, posture check.
You's a freaky ass nigga.
The shipping culture in this sphere you can most definitely argue would be roped in with the parasocial bit I pointed out earlier. And I would agree with you, because the screenshots and clips that I've seen of these people, let's just say it was a terrible day to have eyes and ears while I was researching this. So let's start off by looking at the most popular ship that I've seen in this space by a mile. And that is good old Mousy and Monkey. Now, Iron Mouse and Connor have had an extremely tight-knit friendship for roughly half a decade now. But chronically online losers that get no bitches see a man and a woman on the internet having moderately good chemistry and assume that they fucking. And so fanfiction, questionable fan art, comments asking the creators directly like, are you dating, being spammed in chat, and compilations clickbaiting fans to believing that they were together sprouted from this degenerate circle jerk and spiraled out of control until they both had to address it themselves.
Funny? I think it's cute. I get shipped with a lot of my friends. Just don't make it weird.
I think it's funny. I don't really have a problem. But when it gets weird, and when it gets to the point where it overwhelms everything that's going on, that's a problem. It's all in good fun. Just don't make it weird.
Now, after this whole debacle, it did, surprisingly, get toned down a bunch, and I don't see it nearly as much as when this situation first took off. Very clear and blatant boundaries have been set between the fans and the creators, with rules and regulations regarding what's okay and what's not. It didn't completely exterminate these groups, but now it's at a point where it's no longer an issue worth addressing anymore. But what if I told you that it gets worse from here? Because the last ship we're going to be diving into is with 2 straight men this time. I think. And those 2 are Shoto and Vox Akuma. Now remember when I said that it was a terrible day to have eyes and ears while I was researching this? This is exactly why, because if you thought that the Mouse and Connor shop was bad, you haven't seen nothing yet. Because instead of the fans being the weirdos doing all the dirty work, these 2 were perpetuating it themselves. Now that's not to say the fans were completely hands-off in this. No, not in the fucking slightest. It's just that these 2 are some of the only examples that I've seen of content creators leaning into the behaviors that their unemployed parasocial audience encourages. Like Dream! And get this, the shipping stuff was only the first layer to this goddamn totem pole of degeneracy. Because, I'm gonna be honest bro, these guys are just straight up cringe. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like, someone look at this with a straight face and tell me that what they're doing isn't just the most cringe-inducing shit you have ever seen in your life.
Even if you're writing, you're still on top.
Really?
It's so cringe, bro.
I mean, despite how much you make me mauled, yeah, I guess I do love you too.
Oh.
Don't look at me, God.
Oh, this is so... Oh my god. I have to stand up for this. I have to stand... Okay, so I saw a quick preview of this. Just like a heads up. This might just kill you.
Right. X3 knows those pounces on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your blood from across the floor.
Somebody please, for the love of fuck, cleanse my eyes with holy bleach. These fuckers are just complete gooners sometimes. Hold up. Gooners? Wait, is this supposed to be another segue?
If you are masturbating to this right now, you need help. Like, seriously.
Now, gooners are not exclusive to this sphere. Never have been and never will. If a fandom exists, the chances of you encountering NSFW art of 2 same-sex individuals within that fandom go up exponentially. And sometimes, that's fine in the VTuber space. As long as both parties are okay with it. Because what's special here is that sometimes if a fanbase is rabid enough, they don't know when to stop thinking below the waist and when to start thinking above their double chin. There have been several examples of these weirdo sexualizing motherfuckers that had very clearly stated that they are not comfortable with that shit. But unlike Connor and Mouse creating their boundaries, these people will press on and not give a fuck as long as they can bust a fat one to questionable art of their favorite VTuber. Take a look at this.
Listen, chat, I am asexual. I get weirded out by people coming in chat and going, you're sexy. I get weirded out by that. That's weird to me. I think that's weird. I'm not a sexy person. I am literally a gremlin, okay?
That's pretty base, you know? How did fans respond? Why are they like this? DMing her that she'd be more popular if she was lewd. Or better yet, inferring that any sexual remarks were deserved because she did the crime of showing skin. Am I instigating, or does Dog sound like he asked what the victim is wearing? It's crazy how a woman can come out about being pressured, harassed, and degraded with sexual stuff due to being a female VTuber. I'm sure everyone was respectful.
Every single day, I am grateful that I am not a VTuber in the Big 25 because you can miss me with all that shit. In fact, when I had the bright idea to ask around in the VTuber community some issues they had seen in the past, I had someone tell me their own personal experience with these people. Take a look.
I felt like I had to be part of the gooning culture because I was a VTuber and everyone was. To each their own, but don't come into my chat flirting with me.
Huh?
Don't use pickup lines on me. I'm not comfortable. It's why chat isn't 18+ anymore, because we had so many like instances of people doing that now we just publicly shame them. We're like, yeah, fuck it, you know? If you're gonna come in and goon, then we're gonna shame you for it. Bro, Gooner Arc was the crazy one. Yeah, those were some dark times. Those were some dark fucking times. I remember one guy being like, oh, I want Eve in my bed. And I was like, that's so fucking uncomfortable. And then he said K and left. I was like, oh.
Yeah, if I had some weird parasocial motherfucker try to flirt with me in my chat, well, first, I'd be honored that I'm even worth the attempt. And second, I'd be pretty fucking uncomfortable as well, and would also want that chatter's arm bombed out of my stream. I swear, bro, some of these people are so down bad hills above them. If I got to that point, I'm gonna turn to Buddhism, hit that reset button, and hope to get reincarnated as like a cat or something. Because if I decided to pull that crap, it proves I am going nowhere in life and will never go anywhere in life. Don't do drugs, kids. If you really want to talk about how fake this space can really get, trust me, it's a rabbit hole that does not take a lot of effort to get sucked into. This space is very much like the LA influencer crowd, to where it doesn't matter who you are and what your personality is to an extent. It's just who you know at the time and how many numbers they got so that you can leech off of them for your own audience. It's very anti-individualistic in that sense, where you don't know just one VTuber. If you know one, you know at least like 7 of them. Also, let's not forget about the fact that these people love throwing their friends under the bus. Here's what another VTuber I asked had to say about this.
The main issues with the VTubing career is that it's really hard to, one, make genuine friends, and B, figure out who is using people for a stepladder. I've unfortunately been friends with someone who used people as a stepladder, and when I was no longer beneficial to them, they basically got rid of me. And what happened is because she didn't like the fact that I brought up issues that the other person had brought to me, for example, where they were just shit-talking this one person over and over. They recorded a call with her without her knowing. They were turning people away from her. And instead of being upset at the person who did it, who has higher numbers, high view count, higher followers, and all of that, they were like, Yomi, you were in the wrong. I'm getting rid of you for doing that. And I was like, wait, what? What the fuck did I do? I just defended you. But yeah, so in the VTuber sphere is very much tied. A lot of people just want those who have high numbers.
Jesus Christ, professional yapper here, am I right? Nah, I'm just fucking with you. Go follow her Twitch down below as well as everyone else I showed in this video. If I make any sort of money from this, I'll make sure to gift subs to them for putting up with my shit. But if we want to talk about the worst of these offenders, we gotta talk about Cinder a little bit. Now, to the 7 of you that didn't get a PTSD episode when I said that, she who must not be named is probably one of the most psychotic and heartless people I've ever had the displeasure of looking into. So basically, Cinder and her bitch-ass boyfriend Redacted were accused by Nanolist, a VTuber artist for about the time, for being manipulative, blacklisting other VTubers, slander, coercion, and being pressured to work exclusively for Cinder while essentially not being allowed to partner with anyone else. Several VTubers, especially Bound Silverveil, God rest her soul, Jesus Christ, this chick has gone through hell and back, backed up their claims with their own experiences of being sabotaged and slandered. As soon as Cinder got clapped back and exposed, she announced that Redacted was no longer going to be her manager and made a dogshit apology that was widely criticized, with Shy Lily and Tectone being the biggest ones to do so. After that, her views and subs completely fell off the face of the planet, and no one has given a shit about her since. I acknowledge that I'm not really selling it when it comes to explaining just how crazy this hoe really was if you didn't know who she was already. But this is just a massive oversimplification of the whole thing. If you want to look more into this yourself, I highly suggest you go watch all of Tectone's videos associated with her, because if I continued any further, the vast majority of this video would be just about this psychopath. And her bitch-ass boyfriend too. Don't forget about him.
Do not redeem! Do not redeem the card!
Now, as much shit as I just gave to this entire space, there are a few things that I noticed that don't make it as bad as like Homestuck or Lost or something. Like, I don't know if I'm skittoing out or something, but VTubers have got to be the biggest supporters for men's mental health I have ever seen. I mean, it's almost like they know what their target demographic is, and some are probably only doing it for brownie points, like Corpo's turning their profile pictures gay whenever June comes around, but I'm trying to be positive right now. Also, the fans of these creators have got to be some of the most die-hard and loyal fan bases I have ever seen. Some of them, mostly because of everything I just said earlier, but no, I can't be negative in this section. Stop that. In fact, as of writing this script, ever since Iron Mouse dipped from VShojo after discovering they had scammed the IDF out of $500,000, she asked her fans to donate to that charity. And as of right now, that Tiltify campaign is sitting at a humble $1.3 million. Her fans literally gave the organization retirement money because she asked for it. If that ain't commitment, I don't know what is. To be fair, this is being piggybacked off of a drama that's still pretty fucking raw, not to mention we haven't even seen the end of it because the NDAs haven't even expired yet, but I'm sidetracking here. These fan bases I've seen are also really supportive, nice, and friendly to newcomers joining into the stream and introducing them to everyone else in the community. As long as you avoid all the weird-ass motherfuckers in there. But other than that, you're gonna have a relatively good time in there. One last thing to mention here are the amount of absolute vocal goddesses I've witnessed when I was doing research for this video. Like, what the fuck is the correlation between future Celine Dion's and big titty anime waifus? You could tell me that these people are some underground opera singer in like the Philippines or some shit, and I'd believe you. Iron Mouse alone is the reason why this point exists at all, but don't get me wrong. There are several hundred, maybe thousands of examples of this phenomenon going around on Twitch by itself. Despite how shit the platform is, but that's for a different video entirely. But at the end of the day, if you enjoy what you're watching and what you're doing and no one else is getting harmed in the process, who the fuck am I to tell you what you can and can't like, am I right? I'm just some dumb fuck teenager on the internet ranting about degenerates doing degenerate things and hoping to get some sort of profit from this video. Comment down below what I missed and maybe I'll make a part 2. Also, go check out the content creators that I interviewed in this video. The links to their Twitch and YouTube channels will be in the description down below. Other than that, take care of yourself, or else Asmon Gold might send his roach army after you.